And
Wow.
the images I make with Canva. So Canva now, the images for my blog posts, Canva now has text-to-image AI included.
Wow. I thought it was only like Runway ML and.
But no, that's it is only, Dolly and
Yeah.
and Stable Diffusion and maybe a handful of them, but Canva simply has an API to these originals, and that's how it works. There's a lot of
That's a slap in the face for Adobe, I think.
Yes, and speaking of Adobe, so this past week, couple of days ago, Canva announced that it now has over 100 million monthly active users. And that's, according to Canva, nearly 4 times the number of Adobe's creative software users, 4 times more. And of course, Adobe it moved successfully from for professionals only to not everyone. I mean, but they do have, I do everything on an iPad, right? And they do have a number of apps that are like the light versions of the professional one, and you can do a lot of creative work with Canva apps if you're a total beginner. So they are, I think, the industry standard for any visual work until apparently Canva. I must say they've added a lot of features that Adobe can never offer. Canva now has also Canva Docs, DOCS, and that's a frontal attack to Google Docs and Microsoft Word. So it's going beyond, cropping your images so they fit as a Facebook page header. I remember that Canva started like that for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think Canva is also easier to use because the sizes are already there. And when you go in Photoshop or Illustrator, it's all the same things as in the past, 20 years ago, like an A4 or an A3 page, and that's it. But Canva is like, you want a Facebook banner, and that makes it a little bit easier for people to use.
Yes, of course.
For me as well as a creator, so yeah.
Do you use Canva as well?
No.
Oh, okay. You're still in the Adobe camp?
Yeah, I still use Adobe for video editing and also for Photoshop or logo design as well. But I'm using Figma now, and Figma is
Figma.
Also something like Adobe XD.
Figma is owned by Adobe now, I think.
Yeah, they bought it, but then it went wrong. Sometimes the server is down as well now, so that's because Figma is an online tool.
Yes.
So
well, in theory, all Adobe products are in the cloud now as well, right?
Yeah, but it's not stable enough.
Ooh.
Yeah, Adobe is not stable enough because before Adobe bought it, it was really good, Figma.
Yeah.
Never had an issue. And yesterday we were chatting about changing some landing pages. And it was a server issue, and I saw in the logs that it was like a few times that day. So that's really bad. But yeah, okay.
But if you can, it's a different target audience, I think, Canva and Adobe. But they're starting to overlap a lot. If you're like a small advertising agency, and you have to create an infographic for one of your customers, Canva has these hundreds of templates that you can use, and then
I think it's good because
you start with something that Canva has in their catalog, and then you start tweaking it.
Yeah, that's really good because in the past everybody asking me for some easy stuff like infographics, and it was my calendar was full, and if you got a tool like this, I can help you further, but use the tool. So it's good. Wow, Canva. I'm starting using it now. I'm gonna try it. I'm going to
tell you why I choose the professional program. The professional version of Canva is because I was lazy. I didn't want to go look for stock images or images that I'm legally allowed to use. And then if you have the professional version, you already have this big and so it's like it's not what Canva was made for, but that's what I started using it for once I had the professional version. So lazy people is like the best target audience. If you can tell lazy people who have a lot of work to do, pay me €50 a month and I will save you a lot of time and effort, and it'll still look good. That's one of the best business models you can have.
Yeah, and also the text to image is a really, really, really good invention because there's always an issue with stock images. The stock images on a web page, on Shutterstock or something like that, is always the same, but when you need something specific, then Midjourney or Runway ML is a really good tool to get. I've made the poster design with a smiley on a headphone, and that's really nice thing to do. And when I need to design it, it would take 10 hours or something.
And now
like
it took you
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah,
But I rearranged some stuff.
Yeah, it's a starting point.
It's a starting
not
point, yeah.
The only thing I'm waiting for, and then that will be a reason to celebrate in our broadcast, I think, is the day that generative AI can finally do fingers. Because I'm in a couple of Discord channels and Facebook groups where they publish the images that are generated by, for example, Stable Diffusion or DALL-E or the other ones. And the fingers appear to be really hard for. And then sometimes you can see in the prompt that we're talking about 5 fingers per hand. One of them is an opposable thumb and the other, and it still messes up the fingers.
Yeah, true.
So the day that the fingers of that the eye,
also rings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's doing wicked stuff.
It could be in a month. This could be fixed. Maybe it'll never figure out how to do like glasses and pupils and earlobes and fingers. But the fingers are the worst.
Yeah.